I just watched the new Netflix movie Night Teeth, directed by Adam Randall, starring Lucy Fry, Jorge Lundenberg Jr., sorry if I butchered your name, and Debbie Ryan, with a guest star appearance by Megan Fox. This movie was mid. It was hella mid, if I'm being honest. I checked it out because one of my favorite movies of all time is Fright Night. Love that movie. My dad had me watch it when I was a kid, and I went to theaters to go see the remake. It was a good time. So when I saw the trailer for Night Teeth, I got Fright Night vibes, and I was interested in it because the premise is a college student unexpectedly takes up a chauffeur job and he is chauffeuring two vampires around for the night. So, silly premise. So I thought, okay, this movie could be fun, you know. Debbie Ryan, I like Debbie Ryan. She's not bad. You know, it seems like this could be a fun movie. But it took itself way too seriously for my liking. It's like the movie starts off with like this really cool looking animated sequence over this vehicle, and I like that a lot. But to like give you the background of the universe that we're in, but this movie was very serious, more than I wanted it to be. Like it still has its fun moments because the three main characters have incredible chemistry with each other. Like Debbie Ryan, Lucy Fry, and Jorge. They bounce off each other really well. So when they're on screen, it's very interesting. And when they have moments where they can be lighthearted and fun, it's good. But when the movie starts to take itself seriously, it's like, okay, I feel like you could like dial it back a bit. Like this can not be that serious. Like this is a movie where a college student chauffeur is driving around a couple of vampire ladies. Like this doesn't need to be taken that seriously. Another issue is that the movie doesn't like it escalates, but it never really felt that way. So I was a little bored watching it. I just never got to a point like it takes about 30 minutes in the movie before like the reveal that the main character coming to the realization that he drives around two vampires, and then after that point it's still the same level of intrigue. Like there's no escalation in events. Like it's like, oh hey, this stuff is happening. So it's like, okay, all right. So that raises the stakes, but outside of that, you never really feel it. Also, this character is stupid, and the definition of pussy whipped, like, oh my god, he's so goddamn stupid. This man has so many opportunities throughout the whole movie that at least in my opinion, that he could have gotten out of this predicament that he got himself in. But he's like, yo, I got the hots for Debbie Ryan, so let me do something stupid. I'm just like, okay. So, oh, okay. Sure, buddy. I see. Not smart, but I see where you're going for here. This is the cross. This is the hill you want to die on. All right, sure. That's what we're doing here. So, but I'm not gonna dog on the movie completely. It did have some positives. I really did like the vibe of the movie. It takes place in L.A. Like looks really nice. It has very nice aesthetic. It's got like this like not neon vibe going on that I really dig, and the soundtrack was pretty cool. It's got a nice hip hop soundtrack that I enjoyed. Um, Acting wasn't bad in my opinion. I think they all did a pretty good job. Nothing like award winning, but served its purpose for the movie. Uh, Also, Megan Fox is in the movie for like a minute, and I'm just like, why did you even bother to put her in the movie if you weren't gonna utilize her? Like, I'm not like a Megan Fox fan or anything like that, but it's just like, what was the point? Because like she's like a well-known actress, so I would assume that she that at least she would have been paid a lot of money for this cameo appearance. So like, what was the point? You could have hired Jane Schmo off the street and paid her significantly less for the same role. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Like I feel like if I could find somebody and get the same level of quality as her performance from someone that's not as expensive, I'd do it. But I guess marketing. It was like, hey, Megan Fox is in the movie, and it's like, ah, we got you. She's only in it for like a minute. Now watch the rest of the movie. We already got your views. Ah, Netflix, we win again. Yeah, but That was 19th. I'd probably give it like a 2 out of 5. You know, but I'd check it out again, maybe. You know, like it wasn't horrible. Like it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it also like wasn't the greatest. I honestly just probably watched something else other than that. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, like, could go into spoilers, but like this. Oh, right. Before I forget, right, the climax of the movie, like the final confrontation of the movie, it was very lackluster. Like it was very boring. Like there wasn't really a confrontation, which I get it. Like it's a regular dude fighting vampire people. Like he's not trained or anything like that, so I understand the logistics behind it. Like he wouldn't be able to really do much, but I feel like it just could have been more interesting because like it only lasts like a few minutes, and like he does something smart, which I really did like. I did appreciate the way like he fights in the confrontation, but the main character Jorge, the Benny, the character that Jorge plays, but it, it wasn't all that interesting. It just kind of happened, and I was like, all right, well, it happened, I guess. And also, it's like you, I can't believe like the first like the first, all right, I am gonna go into the spoilers because I can't really talk about this sequence without like spoiling it. So if you care about spoilers for this movie that again I said was mid, then I guess leave now. So this is your warning if you don't want to hear anything. So here I go into spoilers right now. So in the final fight, it's the main character Benny. He goes in to save his brother, and he has to kill two vampires in order to save his brother. There are three there. One of them is Debbie Ryan, but him and Debbie Ryan like each other, so she's not a threat. Um, the lead vampire Victor, who is I don't remember his name, but I know him as Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones. Um, he has to beat the two of them, and for context of the rest of the movie, the serious aspect of the movie is that Benny is chauffeuring these two vampires around because they are killing the other vampire kingpins that exist in LA. Because they give backstory at the beginning that LA is run by these five vampire kingpins, and they have a deal with vampire hunters that they won't, interfere with humanity and, like, kill a bunch of people who don't know vampires exist and are unwilling and so on and so forth. So these five kingpins manage LA, and the two Debbie Ryan and Zoe Fry's characters, they're the enforcers for this other vampire called Victor, and they're going to kill all of the leaders of these vampire kingpins so that Victor can take control as the lead vampire in LA, which is like, okay, so they're well skilled fighters on top of being vampires. And then like I'm just like you lost like the first one, Zoe Fry's character. I mean, not Zoe Fry. Zoe's the name of her character. Lucy Fry's character, Zoe, dies in a believable way. Is that she gets ambushed because they're not taking Benny seriously when he goes into the final fight. So Benny, um, he set up his car to automatically drive through the wall in the house that they're in, and when it breaks through, it's at dawn, so the sun shines through and it kills her, catches her off guard. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But Victor, his character, I'm just like, dude, seriously? This is how you die? Is that he, when Benny kills Lucy Fry's character, he goes and he grabs Benny's brother to use as a diversion, to bait him into the shadows so that he can fight him and get him out of the sun. So he does that because he's stupid. So he steps into the shadows, and then he grabs Benny and he's gonna kill him, and then Debbie Ryan gets up and stabs him like Victor. And I'm like, okay. And then after that, Benny's brother like football tackles him into the sunlight, and then he dies. And I'm just like, dude, you're this like hundreds-year old vampire that came up with this elaborate plan to kill all of these like vampire mob kingpins that you succeeded in, by the way. He succeeded in his plan. He got them all killed and became the ruler of all the vampires in LA. And you died to a 20-year-old college student who's broke, who didn't know anything about vampires, and you got taken out because somebody tackled you into the like, bruh. You, even if you weren't taking them seriously, there's no way that you should have lost that easily. Like, it's just sad at that point. Like, come on. Like, it was just a lackluster ending to the movie. Like, ah, man, not to compare it to Fright Night because they're not like the same exact movie, but like that movie at least had an escalation. Like the final battle, you really felt like the main characters needed like something. Like they struggled through that fight to win. It wasn't just like they stumbled into it by pure luck. Like they planned it. Like even after planning it, they brought weapons. They, had like a whole sequence of like, all right, we're gonna do this. We got this, that, and they still struggled to win the fight against one vampire. And this skinny college student took out two vampires by pretty much accident, and it's just like, all right, cool, I guess, like this is whatever. It just wasn't yeah, yeah, mid movie 100% mid movie. Yeah, that's about it. That wraps it up, so peace.